Hi Virgo, and welcome to your weekly tarot forecast. This is for July 15th through July 21st, 2019. I'm going to start off by pulling a card here for your overall energy for the week, Virgo, and see what's going on in your world. So, let's see. Okay, so you guys have the flamingo spirit. Embrace the in-between. All right, Virgo, you know, this kind of plays into like all the readings that I've been giving you guys. I noticed for some signs, it's like the same thing. The same message seems to repeat, whether it's a weekly, a spirit guides, or a specialty. It's like the same thing coming through. And so Virgo, this right here is saying embrace the unknown, embrace the uncertainty this week, where, you know, some of you, it's like you haven't quite completed one cycle, but you haven't, but you know, there's like this other new beginning also kind of starting, but you haven't quite finished a cycle, so you can't really start this beginning yet. Like you're in between, okay? You're like in transition this week, in some area of your life. This could just be internally, or this could be externally. Maybe some of you, this week you're transitioning out of an old position within a company and, you know, moving into a new one, but you're training for your old job, you know, training somebody for your old job, and then also you're getting new training for your new position. It could be an energy like that, okay? Others of you, you know, it could be more vague than that. It could just be something going on inside of you where there's a part of you that is, you know, trying to let go of a situation or a person, and there's new energies coming in, but you're not quite there yet, all right? It's like something's almost over and you see the new beginning, but you're not there. You're like in the middle. You're existing in between. Okay, so let's pull some dice. All right, yeah, look at that. You've got the Nine of Wands. Almost there, Virgo. Almost there. Next out is the Two of Pentacles. The balancing act of being in between. But look at that. Here's the Four of Wands. Stability coming in. Seven of Wands. Competition. And lastly, we have the Knight of Swords. So, Virgo, listen. This right here, the Nine of Wands, depicts this energy so well. It's like you have been on a long journey. You're almost there, but not quite, which is causing some distortion in your energy, feeling kind of in between two worlds, pulled from one side or the other, a balancing act, all right? That's going on in these two dice, and that's exactly what that talks about. But Virgo, there is stability and happiness coming in. There's cause for celebration this week for something, okay? And I just feel whatever it is, it's been long, hard, and fought for. Like you feel like you've been in competition with others, some of you, or, you know, some of you could just feel like the world was against you, the forces of nature have been against you, like just nothing going your way. And Virgo, finally, you know, this week, here is some cause for celebration, feeling stable once again. And it could come through like conversation or communication. You could finally get an answer about something this week that you've been waiting on. Okay, this is just like news and information coming in, which I believe helps with this stability, happiness, and celebration. This could also be about like moving location, where there's been like a lot of uncertainty, and then finally this week, Virgo, you get the answer, or you find out exactly, which brings a lot of peace to your heart, to your soul. Okay, so let's pull some more cards. All right, so we had two that jumped out. Yeah, look at that. The unseen path. Like, you know it's there, but you're not quite there yet, Virgo. So listen, hang in there, because like I said, things are starting to shift here. Next out, unrealistic expectations. Okay. And lastly, impressed. All right. So Virgo, listen, what I get with this is maybe, you know, there could be either some of you have been hoping for some outcomes that just aren't, you know, very likely or realistic for your current position in life. Not to say that it can't ever happen for you, but this might be where Spirit's saying one step at a time. Like, you don't know what's up ahead. So, you know, it's like some of you could be like, well, I want this to happen, I want that to happen, I want that to happen. And Spirit's saying, listen, you don't know what's up ahead. You don't know what I have planned for you. And these desires, these expectations aren't really in alignment with that. And believe me, even though you can't see the path forward, Virgo, what's here is what you want. Much more than, you know, this plan, this has to happen in this order, just like this, just like this, just like this, okay? Because ultimately, what Spirit has in store for you leaves you feeling very impressed, Virgo, very impressed, very happy. And now also for some of you with this, I have to say, I feel like you feel like what you've been asking for is unrealistic. Like you just are like, yeah, that's never going to happen for me. That's never going to happen for me. And I'm not talking about winning the lottery or something like that. It's more subtle than that, okay? And now, you know, here's this week and what's happening and what's panning out, which leaves you feeling very impressed and awed with the universe, Virgo. So either way, this card speaks to you. What I see is what Spirit has in store brings you a lot of joy, brings you a lot of happiness, and it's greater than what you picture right now in this moment, okay? So let's pull a card here to see what potential unwanted Mercury retrograde energies are returning, since we are in the peak of Mercury retrograde this week. And we're going to pull a card for those unwanted energy returns, but see why they're returning, so that we can finally you know, complete the cycle and never experience it again. So you guys have a search for the ultimate truth. Look beyond your physical achievements. Find the meaning behind all you have experienced. The truth is not always black and white. Use your spiritual gifts to reach for higher awareness. Exert the power to make a difference. Okay, nice. So Virgo, this right here to me is where Spirit is going to, there's been blockages and delays that are playing out. And the reason for that, Virgo, is because Spirit wants you to reevaluate the path that you have taken up to this point, the journey that you've been on up to this point, to this week, and make you see that all is not lost, okay? Everything you have been through counts for something, and you are almost to the end, to the finish line, okay? Even though you don't see it ahead, it is there. And Spirit wants you to not look at your past as like a waste, or I wish I could have done this different, or I wish I would have done that different, or I wasted too much time on this, or I haven't spent enough time on my dreams. Like, whatever it is for you, Virgo, this week, Spirit is like, no, your past is perfect. It has shaped you and molded you into who you are today. And that's the most perfect version of you. You've never been this version of Virgo that you are right now today at any point prior. And everything you've been through has created this version of you, which is the most perfect version of you yet, okay? And there is something just up ahead, Virgo, where it is the relief, it is the reward, it is the payoff. The struggle is lessened. You don't feel pulled. You don't feel like the balancing act. Some of you, it's like you finally have some permanent housing, or you're very happy with like where you're going to be moving to. I do see something about, you know, some of you moving location, and that may have been a cause for, you know, upset and concern, and worry and stress, but it's like it's all going to work out. The unseen path ahead, you know, Spirit has mapped out for you, and I do see, you know, stability and celebration, Virgo, okay? And just the way things are going to work out is perfect. The way things have unfolded in the past is perfect. Even if it doesn't feel that way, like you will come into that perception just by the way things are going to start unfolding for you. Okay, so let's pull some advice for your week and then for this Mercury retrograde. Okay, so look at this change. Yes, there is change coming, Virgo, for you. You're not going to feel so like stuck in the in between, in the middle, unsure, uncertainty. All of that is starting to change for you, Virgo, and just the way it all works out, I swear you're going to feel very impressed. And look at that for this Mercury retrograde, it's the awakening. So looking back on your past, every moment, every relationship, every setback, every failure, everything that led you up to this point, Virgo, and realizing that right now, today, you are your most perfect version of yourself. It sparks an awakening in your soul that takes you deeper than you've ever been before. And through that, your consciousness shifts and expands, and you see things differently, which thus allows you to rise vibrationally, and the things that have returned to you in this Mercury retrograde, you will have completed them because you finally understand them, like all the way to the core of your being, your consciousness, your emotional body, your spiritual body, like all of you, Virgo. It just becomes your all-knowing in your beingness. And so this week, different things about your past, like you might just be triggered to remember certain things, and like you might run into certain people or find yourself in similar circumstances or situations, and when that's happening, be like, oh, okay, Spirit's bringing this back around so I can reevaluate it and see it from a different perception than I did in the past. Okay, and that ultimately sets you free. It awakens you in a way that you aren't currently. And as far as the week goes, it's like the energy is really starting to change for you, Virgo, and you're going to start feeling more grounded and rooted and not like flapping in the wind with uncertainty or confusion. Okay, so those are your messages, Virgo. I'm wishing you all the best. Take care.